Got any fives?
No.
If you aren't gonna play by the rules, I'm just gonna play solitaire. What's going on?
Oh, it is good to be back. Greetings, Avion City. The master of crime, Jawbone, is back. Gigaphone put a lot of effort into protecting this train. Would you gentlemen be so kind as to tell me why? Where are your manners? Do you treat all of your guests that way? Ah, perfect. Chloe, Zoe, if you two be so kind as to get the door for me. All of this trouble for a rock? Is this some sort of trick? I've never seen anything like this. Where on earth did Gigaphone find this? Whatever, if that gearhead wants it, then so do I. Drat! Looks like the reinforcements have arrived, twins. Let's give them a warm welcome.
That hurt, you mute freaks!
Ah, Leo! Long time no see. I would stay and chat, old friend. But I'm a bit busy robbing you right now.
Very funny, bonehead. Let's see you laugh at this!
Hey! Watch where you swing that thing. This isn't cheap, you know?
What in God's name is that thing?
I will tell you what it isn't. My problem. Let's go, girls.
I'd hate to ruin that beautiful face, but the city isn't big enough for both of us, copycat. Kinley, you there? I'm going to need a little help here.
I'm already on it, Leo. I sent the distress signal to the rest of the team. They should be here any moment now. Speaking of which, here she comes.
I can never have a day off around here.
Be careful down there. That turncoat is strong enough to hold its own against Leo.
That's strange. This isn't a turncoat. In fact, I have no information on what this thing is.
Turncoat or not, it'll burn all the same.
Well, if it copied your reckless behavior, then it should be easy to subdue it.
I can handle this thing on my own. Just evacuate the train for me.
Ah, yes, because you've been doing just fine on your own so far.
Come on, civilians and the wounded come first. Isn't that what our hothead leader always says? I've got a plan. Trust me.
Fine. Go ahead and fight it. If you end up losing to yourself, I'm telling everyone back at HQ.
Bad news, guys. I can't get in contact with the next station. We gotta speed this up before we endanger more lives.
One thing after another.
Train is clear of all civilians. You're clear to do whatever it takes to take that thing down.
Give me a second. I'll try to hack into its controls and stop it.
That's all I needed to hear. Let's turn up the heat! What's wrong? You can't copy my fire resistance?
Your bright idea was to light the train on fire. I still need to get to the control room, idiot!
Hey, anyone that sits around while a flaming train is coming at them deserves what comes next. Natural selection at its finest.
That's enough, Team Wingspan. I'll handle the rest from here.
It's about time you showed up. Where are you?
On the tracks. If you're still on the train, I suggest you get a move on. Vincent. Flare!
Boys, if violence didn't work the first time, use even more violence.
This should have gone much smoother. What happened?
Leo here decided the only way to beat a copy of himself was to burn down the entire train.
So I overdid it a bit. Aren't you made of metal? You could have just flown through the flames, or turned to a ball of light.
I'm an android now. As in mostly human, I am not fireproof. Not in this form or as a ball of light.
I've heard enough. We need to work on communication skills. We're out of sync. The enemy got away, and all we're left with is cleanup duty. We're lucky that we had Kris here to make up for our mistakes today.
Well, look who's here. I was wondering when the director was going to allow you back into society.
I ran into him on the way here. Glad I brought him along.
Good to have you back, little buddy. What's it been? Almost a year?
None of you have changed a bit. Still fighting among each other.
Oh, it would be so much easier if they started listening to me!
How about we all go back to my place together? We can make up for lost time and work on our teamwork.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I'm up for it. It'll be nice to hang out with someone I can tolerate for once.
I agree. Who knows when the director will call Kris back? This might be our only chance for all of us to do a little bit of bonding.
Technically, you were our temporary leader till Kris got back anyway. So if he wants us to go, then that's what we're going to do.
Fine. We have to pick up a quadra in Scorpica. Feel like tagging along, Kris? They'll love to see you.
Sure. This city is so big I'd probably get lost on my own anyway. I was lucky I ran into you, or I would still be wandering the streets.
Keep an eye on your phones. I'll send a location to Kris's house. Then I'll call you once we're on our way. Avion City took a bit hit after our battle with Jack. There's still a population problem to this day. Too many people, and not enough homes. Crime skyrocketed after you left. They started to build a mafia of sorts, called the Blue-Eyed Crocs.
That sounds terrible. If I had known it was this bad, I would have asked the director to send me back to help.
It's not your fault, Kris. We'll get them eventually, and show them that this city doesn't belong to them.
If we handle the monster like Jack, I'm certain we'll make these Crocs extinct in no time. We thought that train would have been attacked by them. I have no idea why someone like Jawbone would be interested.
Hi, Rook. Sorry we couldn't respond to that distress signal. Scorpio was busy with an experience or something.
I said an experiment. I hope we didn't miss too much. No one got hurt, did they?
Thankfully not. We had a little help from an old friend.
It's good to see you, Kris. You're barely back a day and you're already fixing our problems.
Yeah, but I don't mind. What kind of experiments are you doing? Last time I was here, you were studying on how to be a better medic.
I've had plenty of hands-on training over the years. You wouldn't believe how often the boys get hurt, so I've been working on a way to heal people from a distance. That way, I won't have to run blindly in a battle. Like Rook does.
No, I don't. I always have a plan.
You stood in front of an oncoming train. All of your plans consist of punching things, which isn't always going to be the answer.
I thought it was pretty cool.
We're going to my house to catch up on everything I missed. I have so many stories to tell you guys. You wouldn't believe the things I've seen outside the city.
You've been outside the city? I've heard about all types of monsters that are strong enough to tear through steel like cotton candy. I've always wanted to see for myself, but no one will let me.
Because you're oblivious to danger. It's already hard enough to keep you from running off on your own. If you get lost in the woods, we'll never hear from you again.
Something the matter, Rook?
Just a little on edge is all. Come on. It's best not to keep the others waiting.
Make yourselves at home, everyone. What's mine is yours.
Whoa, this place is huge! I forgot how rich you are, Kris.
Please try to keep your voice down, Aquatica, and don't touch anything expensive.
We don't have the salary to pay for Aquata's mishaps. Keep a close eye on her, Scorpica.
Is that you, Kris? Oh, my baby boy has finally come home. I worried something bad happened to you.
What are you doing here? I thought you'd still be away on your business trip for another 2 months.
Well, I was given a few days to return home. I didn't know you were coming, or else I would have told you in advance. It's a happy coincidence. I'm so happy to see you safe.
Mom, I'm fine. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Of course, sorry, Kris. I want to thank you all for fighting alongside my son. Might I have your names?
My name's Aquata. I'm a hero in training. Me and Kris have been friends since we kicked Jack's butt.
I'm Scorpica, the medic of the team. But sometimes it feels like I'm their babysitter. A pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Crane. You can just call me Bella. Thank you all so much for taking care of my Kris. What was your little group called again?
We're the elite soldiers tasked with protecting the entire city. Team Wingspan. I'm Captain Kenley, an expert in all things machine.
Oh, good for you.
Bella is no stranger to machines either. After all, you did build me. The director vaguely spoke about you. It's a bit overwhelming meeting my creator after all this time.
I'm happy to see you live your life with my old director's influence, Pa. He was always so obsessed with the past. He couldn't let people enjoy the present.
I've met a lot of people who have the same problem, Bella.
I'm familiar with these two. If I could, may I speak to them in private for a moment? You can take the rest of your friends to your room. It won't take long, I promise. You need to leave, immediately.
Look, Bella, I know we've had our differences, but we can get along now. Jack's long gone, so there's no reason for us to be at each other's throats.
Jack is of no concern. Kris's return is proof that the director is plotting something. It's only a matter of time before he makes his move. The first person he'll come after is you, Rook. That gem around your neck only makes you a target.
You're talking about Orion, aren't you?
I've told you before what'll happen if you endanger my family, Don John. There are no more warnings. Whatever happens next will be on you.
Hold on, am I missing something here? How did Rook find out you were working Orion? You and Jack wouldn't tell me anything about him.
About 3 years ago, when Jack was attacking the city, Bella saved my life. I almost joined Jack at one point, and that's how I learned that Jack wasn't the mastermind behind the attack. The real threat is a man named Orion.
And if he finds out Kris is back, he might plan another attack. Do you understand, Leo? This city barely survived the first attack, and Orion hasn't even gotten serious yet.
I'm not the same as I was back then. I will protect this city, no matter the cost.
Working under Jack was the biggest mistake of my life. One mistake I don't feel like repeating. Plus, how bad could this Orion guy be?
Ugh, you have no idea the kind of evil you're up against. From this point on, don't expect any mercy from me.
I've never seen her like this before. Do you think we're ready for another turncoat raid? Some of the city's still in shambles from the last one 3 years ago.
We don't have a choice. Ready or not, there's a storm coming.
Crane residence. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, you know who I am, Bella.
What do you want?
Things are starting to get exciting.
An old friend visited me today, and what he had to say was very interesting indeed. That fool kicked the hornet's nest this time.
I'm a bit busy at the moment. Should you even be calling me while I'm still in the city? Unless it's important, I don't want you calling me like this.
Have you seen the news? Apparently, your son just stopped a train from crashing in Avion City. You were supposed to let me know when he returned.
You can't trust anything on TV nowadays. I'll look into these rumors myself. You promised that you'd let me handle my children, remember?
Of course, of course. I am a man of my word. I absolutely despise liars.
I was just a little confused is all. I was certain I saw Kris walk into your house a few minutes ago. Well, nothing to say, Bella?
You were right. It's best we don't talk over the phone like this. Let's continue this conversation face to face.